All right, just give me 1 second, folks, because it is live, and we'll have people listening in. Ryan, can you share it to like Griswold now on all those silly pages?
Yeah, no problem.
Oh, I gotta get my phone. Telling me on this thing. Yeah. Okay. Can everybody hear me okay? Okay. All right, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to a special broadcast here at SNSN. This is Mike. I'm in production one. I'm not even in the main studio. This is where we kind of do these things. We have some special guests here today. We have Superintendent of Griswold Schools, Sean McKenna. We have Glenn Labossiere. And Glenn, what is it's Director of Teaching, Innovation, and Learning, or Learning, Innovation, and Teaching.
Correct.
I got the correct three, right?
Yes, you did.
I never get them right in order, and then we have Ryan Aubin, Director of Youth and Family Services. Good afternoon, gentlemen. Thanks for taking the time.
Thank you.
So, Mr. McKenna, let's talk right away. We're going to talk about the summer programs that Griswold Public Schools will be offering. If I'm going to give you the floor, please tell us what's coming up.
Thanks, Mike, and we really appreciate it. We're excited to announce that Griswold Public Schools will be offering a summer learning program. We've been spending the past couple of months designing it. Glenn has been a part of it, as well as our building administrators. This is a program that we are really thrilled to be working with in partnership with the town on. I'm going to talk a little bit about our programming. It starts on June 21st and it runs through July 22nd. It's 4 days a week. It's 8 to 11. We have two phases of the programming. One is called Unfinished Learning. So that phase is by invitation. That's if the school contacts a parent and or a student and says, we need to work with you. There's some what we call learning gaps, and we want to give you an opportunity to kind of get prepared for the next school year. So that's going to be 4 days a week, 8 to 11 here at Griswold Public Schools. And then we have what we're calling an enrichment strand of opportunities that I think are fantastic. Music, PE opportunities, art opportunities. We have a Spanish around the world in Espanol. For all students, I believe, Glenn, is that grades 5 through 12?
It's 3 through 12.
3 through 12. We have one of our teachers at the middle school offering a babysitter certification. We have an introduction to high school, which Erin is going to be doing. Some are the full 5 weeks, some are 2 weeks mini sessions. What's great about this is it's free free transportation. We're going to get you lunch and breakfast. And we are going to get you free food through Griswold Public Schools food service. And we're working with the town, myself and many parents. If you're a working parent and you want to have your child enrolled in our summer learning program, you can certainly do that. And then Ryan, if the students want to go into the rec program, they can do that seamlessly. So there isn't a gap or you have to worry about pickup. So we're very excited about this. Parents can go to our website. We built a website around our different enrichment opportunities that people can register for. This is new for us. I want to be really, really clear. This is grant funding through the ESSER2 grant that came to Griswold. Glenn, did I miss anything?
No, and just some other things that we'll be teaching, like Technomaniacs. There's a contemporary issues class for high school students. There's Our Brave New World. This is a literature class of where we are right now. It's really a mix of things, our enrichment things for our students to hit a lot of different kids and students. So I think it'll be pretty exciting. I know our teachers are pretty excited to work with the students in the summer.
Now, how are you going to be integrating with Ryan Aubin?
Ryan Aubin's going to talk about that because Ryan and Todd have been in the planning. We've met every Friday since probably late March to map this out with the town. Ryan?
So summer camp, usually it's in the elementary school. This year is a little bit different because of COVID. We had to split it out, but we're really grateful to the school because they allowed us to use their whole facility. So our program goes to 5 p.m. So the kids can actually come right to our program right after the Enrichment program.
Ryan, let me ask you, are your speakers on in the background?
No.
No? Okay.
Yeah,
No, just
feedback?
it was feedback.
There with that.
No?
Is that better?
A little bit. Anyway, go ahead and continue. I just wanted to, because it was a little difficult to understand.
Okay. Sure, no problem. So our program goes to 5 p.m. We're basically piggybacking.
Mike, do you want me to talk or?
So kids can stay after.
Looks like Glenn and Ryan are fading out.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you fine. Yeah, I mean,
I think Glenn and Ryan are back. Didn't they just release the new trailer for Stranger Things season 4?
there you go.
There you go.
I think we should do one of these that we're all just come on here dressed as somebody from Hogwarts. I think that would be fun.
But we've been working, what's great is we've been working with Ryan and Todd to map this out because obviously we're really proud of our relationship with the town and working with the rec center and making sure that the programs marry one another. So it's not forcing parents into a situation where they have a scheduling conflict. The other thing that's great too, Mike, about this is we worked very closely, Glenn did, with the music department, and that's a strength of Griswold. And so they have mapped out sessions for choir, for band, for ensemble, to give kids the extra kind of practice that they need. Additionally, we do have some sort of fun non-pressure courses. And then if kids want to, at the high school, for example, if they want to take a course where they can earn credit ahead of time, we are offering a couple of those options. So you can get a jump on your high school credit. 8 to 11, free transportation, free food. Tom O'Connor and those folks in our food services do a bang-up job. You can't go wrong. It's going to be happening here at Griswold Public Schools this summer.
How did this all come about? I know you said this is grant funded and all, but when did you first hear about it? And was it 5 weeks ago when you, Ryan, and Todd were on meeting, or before that?
Well, we heard that the state of Connecticut, I don't know, Glenn, back in February, was thinking about us, meaning the whole state, offering summer programming in a meaningful way. And so, geeky me, I went on and just researched what the research says about planning for summer programming, looked at some of the summer programming models in California. And one of the things that was very important was working with the town. Glenn, I don't know if you want to talk about the planning. That's been going on for quite some time.
Yeah, the planning has been very strategic, reaching out to our staff to find out, especially for the enrichment, our unfinished learning, we know what those classes will look like. But for enrichment, teachers came up with the idea of, hey, I think this class would be something I'd want to teach. And I think that students would love to do it. Like at the elementary level, calligraphy and arts and crafts, so that's one of the examples. And also the Spanish around the world, they're going to look at all these different countries and do culture of the countries and stuff. I mean, it's kind of unique. And also our students start Spanish in 5th grade. What a great opportunity for some of our elementary kids that are transitioning into the Spanish piece. So the planning was really getting the staffing and also and having teachers that want to continue working after, they've had a really hard year trying to manage it all and still want to be with our kids. So it's impressive that we came up with the staffing. And then working with Ryan to make sure that it's a smooth transition. So if your 4th grader was in our summer learning program, we'll make sure they'll end up in the rec program and we'll transition the students over and make sure it's pretty smooth. And we're also working with Ryan on also registering and getting some helping where we can with the registration and some of the new requirements for the recreation program. So really been collaborative and it's great to work with everybody. And the bottom line is it's what's great for our kids and we're trying to help our families and support their students during the summer.
So from what I understand, it seems like they will go to the summer enrichment program from 8 to 11. And then if they're enrolled in the summer camp, then they would just really be brought right over to Ryan. Is that correct? Especially for some of the younger kids?
Yep, that is correct. We'll make that transition happen with the exchange and make sure they have their lunches and all those things. So I know Ryan is also working with, I think Tom for lunches too. So I think that's part of the program. So what a great opportunity for our kids and the rec program.
Now,
Yeah,
Ryan,
that's really something that's something really special about Griswold. Other schools don't really work that well together. School and town, and here, I mean, everybody's on the same page. It's awesome.
no, I know there's cost to go to summer camp. Is that gonna somehow be subsidized with part of this grant at all? If there's going to be, so I know you say there's going to be a transition from different kids, to go over to Ryan in summer camp. Are the fees still going to remain the same?
For summer camp, yeah, because it's $110 for a whole week, and it's 9 to 5. That's affordable, and then we also have scholarships too.
Okay.
So, Mike, let me be clear. That's a really good question. And so, Ryan, I know we just put a letter forward to support him for a competitive grant. This ESSER 2 grant funding is for the district. It's actually for a cycle of 2 fiscal years. And one of the things that we can do is pay faculty and staff transportation, materials, that kind of stuff to support the summer learning program. And we are calling it summer learning. We don't want people to think that this is punishment or this is supposed to be shameful or undignified. But unfortunately, we cannot say here's X amount of money to support the program. But what I will share with you, and maybe Ryan can talk about it, is he is pursuing grants, one of which we just wrote a letter of support for him to see if they can somehow secure that funding.
Yeah, so with this program and the pandemic rules that we have to go by, there's a cost to it. So the grant we applied for is to offset that course for expansion.
Okay. So I guess I'm not clear. Does that mean that it's going to go ahead and subsidize some of the kids that are going to go to your program in the afternoon?
No, I mean, we have scholarships that could make the program free. Like, we already have that in place. The grant I applied for is basically to help the town get back some of that money for the expansion we had to do for the pandemic guidelines.
Mm-hmm. Now, what the school is offering is absolutely free. You were saying, the classes from 8 to 11, breakfast and lunch. I mean, even transportation. So the school buses will be rolling pretty much for 5 weeks. Is that
correct?
So that does seem like, especially for, I'm thinking myself for younger kids, if parents help them transition back to work, and during the summer, instead of looking for somebody to watch them or whatever, they can take advantage of these programs. Was that part of it?
I think so. It is part of it. I mean, it's kind of this programming, and again, it's not summer school, it's summer learning. There are many different goals, one of which is obviously to help kids, particularly those that need it and those that may need sort of an enrichment program to reintegrate to school, to give kids opportunities in terms of learning loss and recovery, but also to give kids opportunities to sort of, kind of get back into the swing of normal. And reconnect with folks in a very lighthearted, non-pressure cooked way. We are working with our teachers, and Glenn is, in designing the individual activities with an emphasis on interest. This is not Mr. Mike. This is not Dolores Umbridge's School of Summer Academy. This is meant to be fun. This is meant to be. We want kids to be here and to enjoy themselves. And the last thing we don't want is to have the stress that we've had during the school year. Having said that, do we have to do certain things like social distance? We do. Do we have to make sure everybody has a mask? We do. Do we have to make sure that we have PPE and, extra steps with our janitors? We do. But we're pretty excited about this. We think it's a great opportunity, and we're hopeful that it's going to be a success. And we've already started planning for next summer.
Yeah, it sounds absolutely wonderful. It sounds like a bunch of fun clubs, with different things, and kids getting together and just having fun, while learning to do the same thing. I think it's an excellent idea.
It's so excellent, Mike. I decided I think I should have my head examined, but I'm kind of pumped about this. I'm actually offering a course, and so had the Board of Ed preview it. Glenn looked at the curriculum. It's up there. It's for kids in 8 through 12. I am not taking any kind of fee. This is part of my. It's just something I want to do to help out, and to kind of put my hand into teaching. So.
What is the course that you'll be teaching or handling?
It's called Our Brave New World: Searching and Innovating for a New Day, and the goal is to read a young adult novel called Legend by Marie Lu, some current event articles, Shakespeare's The Tempest, and we're also going to give kids an opportunity to write and publish what their shorter pieces on the pandemic, and we're going to create what we call an e-zine. So I'm pretty excited about it.
Being in an administrative role for as long as you have now with Griswold Public Schools, is this a part of you that says, I want to get back into teaching, or at least kind of get back with the kids for a little bit?
I say this and I mean it. I've never forgotten the classroom. And the classroom gives me great joy. And yeah, I mean, I love teaching and I love learning, and, I've done some things on the grad level. I'm signed up to do some stuff, but, teaching kids it's a great thing. Kids are great. Even when they're bad, they're great. And it's nice to be a part of that. So I thank Griswold for giving me that opportunity.
How many courses in total, and how many faculty will actually be there throughout the 5 weeks? I mean, just to give people the grasp of the size of it and how grandiose this actually is.
Glenn, I don't know if we have a direct, so it's all enrollment dependent.
Yep. So Mike, some of our unfinished learning, our K through 8 will be there'll be a grade level teacher at every grade, probably through K through 8, with probably 20, 25 students in a classroom. And at the high school, a lot of it it's earning credit dependent. So I anticipate probably about another 100, maybe 50 to 100 kids in there. So I think that's another, and then there's like another 20 offsets of the enrichment, between band, chorus, and some of the other things. So I anticipate it could be up to 400, 500 students in total when everyone's done. That's what we're hoping anyways.
Glenn, can you discuss or explain what unfinished learning is,
Yeah.
and what are learning gaps? Because we hear those terms a lot lately. If you could maybe give it a definition, because I don't know if everybody understands that.
So what we do, we have some means that we follow. We track our data in our schools. We do this thing called NUA map testing. We do it K through 10. So we do those 3 times a year. So we already have 2 points of data for us. And then we'll take the third one, which we do in a few weeks. And we're going to look at, okay, in grade 3, where are some of the things, for instance, that are where gaps? Where are kids maybe missing some of the things that we would expect them to be better at? And we can break that down. And also some of our students, we also look at it from a grade level and individual students. So if we have a student that we see, hey, you know what, maybe for whatever reason it could have been isolation, could have been for any reasons. If they're struggling in an area, those are the students we would invite in to try to fill in some of those things. So if you were a 3rd grade student, at the end of the summer, you'll be very prepared to go into 4th grade. So you're not always playing catch up. And it's acceleration, they call it, which is a strange term. We're accelerating these kids to make sure they're ready for the next grade level. So we're using some data points and also some obviously input from teachers to make sure that we can support those students that may have, some difficulty over the last year or so. So it's kind of exciting things to do that. And our curriculum will be based on what that data showed us. A 4th grade teacher, maybe, in math, and maybe it's some part of fractions or ratios that they're concentrating on. So we're really going to pinpoint it. And as Sean said, one of the keys is during that day, our teachers are going to, if you're an elementary student, you're going to still go out for recess. They're going to do fun activities with you. They're going to do all these things because we want to make sure that you're there, you're getting what you need to do, but also it's the summertime and you're still enjoying yourself. So and then the enrichment pieces were, like I said, were things that teachers came up with or ideas that we think that student may have interest in.
Ryan, what about you? I mean, are there going to be any changes into your curriculum and programs at summer camp due to the new programs at the school? Because it sounds like these kids, especially maybe the younger kids that you deal with, they're going to be only getting half a day as opposed to a full day of summer camp. Am I right or wrong there?
Yeah, you'll have a number that come in. You also have some that come in really early too, but for actually planning our program, this year is going to look different regardless, because of the new rules and everything's laid out different. But the secret between for our program and why it's special is because there's activity blocks and the kids decide what they want to do. Like we schedule up to 6 activities and they spin off what interests them the most. I mean, you could have a kid that likes sports all day. You could have a kid that likes enrichment. You have a kid that likes art. They get to choose their own path. So that's kind of why our program's grown over the years. So that stays the same. So other than that, we're not really changing too much on that side, but it's just the logistics and how the program's laid out is drastically changed because now we're in 2 facilities.
Do you are you still in need of camp counselors?
Yes, yeah. So one thing we learned in the last couple weeks is we have some kids who applied but don't want a job now because either A, they have a job, or B, they're at home and they don't want to go anywhere. So we actually had to reopen the enrollment period. So we have another week or so here so we can apply. And with the new layout, we really need to hire more staff than normal. So on our side, we're a little bit nervous about that, but we are getting more applications in. So today is much more promising than last Wednesday. I'll leave it as that.
Do you know how many? Well, I'm sure you know, but I mean, how many positions that you have to fill as of yet?
Sure. Well, we're budgeted up to 30, but I don't know if we're going to get up to that point because it's all based on enrollment. We're not going to. We have this tier of budgeting, like how much money the town gives us, but we're not going to use it if we don't need it. So we have to figure out what our enrollment is, which is our deadline, which is the first time ever we had to put a deadline on summer camp to enroll, is June 4th, because we have to figure out how many staff we have to hire based on our ratios of how many kids, and also keeping them separate. That's kind of like 2 ships in the middle of the night. You have to pass each other without seeing each other. And so this is how our programs are going to be laid out.
Sean, do you have anything else you want to add on that maybe we didn't cover? Something that you want to mention or talk about?
Not in particular. We do have our website is updated. You have to go to our website, and then there's a link at the top to click to the summer learning, and it's pretty self-explanatory for parents that want to register for the enrichment. For the unfinished learning, the school is going to do that part to reach out to families. As Glenn said, we're trying to sort of make that user-friendly for families in terms of the invitation process. And last but not least, we're very grateful to the Board of Ed and the town of Griswold for supporting this.
Glenn, any parting comments?
No, I think we have a really good plan. And as like anything, the first time doing it, we'll improve it as we go along. And I'm sure a lot of the things we learned this year, because it is a 2-year grant program, where next year we'll hopefully it'll be even better than this year. But we do think we have a great plan, and I think our students will enjoy it and our staff will.
Ryan, same opportunity. If you have anything else you want to add?
No, we're just grateful the school supports us. Honestly, we couldn't do anything we do, like things that we don't even advertise, like mentorships. Like it couldn't be done without that, that support.
Yeah.
So I'm just grateful for that.
All right. Gentlemen, thank you very much. I appreciate the last 30 minutes, for coming on and talking about these programs. This will get replayed a few times as well. So, we get it out there. So thank you very much, gentlemen. Have a great rest of your day.
You too. Thanks.